I'll eat that.
The chocolate one is good.
Yeah, I'll eat that, especially as ice cream.
Cool.
Yelling at Mike?
You guys do
Oh, you're not plugged in. That's...
it's right here.
How do you sound now?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
is it more of our late night
Yeah, maybe.
underground podcast? Okay,
Yes,
so
Seabass said they stayed here for like 2 hours.
They're so
When-
weird.
Seabass doesn't know how to leave here a lot of the time.
I
it
told him
seems
just to
me.
record it. I was just,
Yeah.
I was like, if you're gonna sit there, just fucking hit
Yeah,
go.
just record it. Yeah, he should know how now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, I want to say early 2000s, when the internet was just becoming kind of a thing.
And I was 3 years old.
Yeah, so sorry.
When were you born? 94, 98.
98.
I know it was one of those.
You're 88.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, one of my kids is 96 or 86, and the other one is 90. So, anyway, ESPN was kind of early to internet radio. So you could go to ESPN's website and
Tap in.
Yeah, and it was kind of before ABC bought them.
Who was the morning guy? I actually like him.
Currently,
No, like yeah, maybe, but during that era too, on the radio.
not Colin Cowherd.
No, it looks like Iron Man.
Looks like Iron Man.
Very distinctive voice.
Robert Downey Jr. I love him.
I'm not sure.
Once I say the name, you'll know. Go ahead. 'Cause I
Anyway,
bet you it was this guy.
anyway, though, they this obviously the studio was live even when they weren't broadcasting the radio shows.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
And so they called it ESPN Radio Underground,
And you can listen to it?
and you could listen to it, and
Yeah.
they got in so much trouble because people would forget that the mics were live,
Oh no.
and they would say bad things. But it was my favorite thing that's ever been on the internet.
No, that sounds
I love
amazing.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even things like mic'd up for like football players.
Yeah.
Those things are just so fun.
Yeah, I like mic'd up too. Every time, for some reason, they find funny clips, or at least motivating clips. Fuck.
Imagine how much like audio they have to listen to find something actually funny.
or that they're allowed to play. Because they're, I mean, sideline at a basketball game, like you're cursing.
Yeah.
Who knows what you're saying? It is wild, right? Because who bought who first? ABC bought Disney, or Disney bought ESPN, then ABC bought both, or something? Or they partnered?
Something like that.
Damn it, I can't find this guy's name. You definitely know him.
I'm sure I know him because I was an addict for that
No, he's
stuff.
he's extra famous. He's like the guy.
Not Dan Patrick.
No.
He doesn't look like Iron Man.
He has like his own show and then maybe even moved it to ESPN. It might just be on ESPN radio. He might not work for ESPN. I don't even know.
Everybody with a show on ESPN works for, as far as I know.
It was on our ESPN radio here.
Oh, interesting.
Most famous sports radio hosts. You're gonna be like, holy shit, when I say this, because I'm so stupid for not remembering it. He's like the guy.
What does that mean?
Like, the Iron Man references when he's younger. Because
Okay.
now he's
Greenberg?
Oh, maybe it's CBS radio. Am I way off?
You might be
Jim
off.
Rome.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. He does
CBS.
look like Iron Man. Yeah,
A little bit, right?
Does
yeah.
he? Let me
Jim
see.
Rome was
That's
his
like
own.
that's a little bit older, but
No.
I think he was
Stop.
Fox.
Oh my god.
maybe because then Fox and ESPN had a thing. I
How
feel
dare
like
you
before
offend
ABC even.
Robert
I don't know.
like that.
Iron Man. Robert is Robert. Iron Man's Iron Man. Iron Man is older than Robert.
Yes, I know that. But are we referring to the actor or are we referring to like the comic guy?
Comic guy for sure. Iron Man, 90s cartoon. I'm talking about this fool. I don't even know if they show his face that much. In the cartoons
In
I
the
watched.
cartoon? What is
Yeah.
his human face? He doesn't have
Yeah,
one.
they don't really show him much.
Oh.
At least in the ones I watched.
He's just stuck in his suit all the time?
Well, in the 90s, yeah, because he would like make Iron Man wasn't like as big of a thing. He would make like appearances in X-Men or in Spider-Man, and he was always in the
as
suit
a
whooping
superhero
ass.
stuff, but he was never like the main character.
Not in the stuff I watched.
Interesting.
That people, I don't know. That worked for Marvel, obviously,
Yeah.
to bring that character forward. But apparently, it is not working for DC to bring the Flash into his own movie.
Yeah,
because
or
there's
other
never
people.
been a Flash movie before, and there probably will never be a Flash movie again.
Yeah, it is funny. Like because all of them have such depth stories. Because Stan Lee was so good in the other ones, but who?
Flash and Green Lantern.
Yeah. Like Green
I don't know
Lantern.
if it's the same world.
People love the Green Lantern.
Do they?
I think so, but then
not the movie.
Not the movie. Yeah, and then the movie's just bust. It's like weird. Obviously, how you portray them in a movie matters so much.
Yeah.
The Iron Man, like the way it started, was so good.
No, the first Iron Man's so good.
Yeah.
Even the second one's really good.
I hate the second one.
Really? Yeah, I like them all.
I like the third one. A
He's
lot of people
dead
don't
now.
like the third one.
Robert Downey's so good, and then like
Yes.
the story's good. It looks good. The
He's
visuals are
perfect
good.
for that character too.
He is. Yeah. But yeah, then you do the Flash. Shit, even half the Batmans.
He runs fast. I don't care.
I understand it's a great performance though, because he plays against his younger self through like a good third of the movie.
When the show had a lot of success, right? Well,
Yeah,
there's like
totally disconnected.
How many shows? 2? There's 2 shows. Different. I think there's 2 Flash shows.
I think maybe is there a Flash on the Legends of Tomorrow show?
Maybe. I think
which is kind of like a superhero team up kind of time traveling whatever.
No, I think Flash himself has 2 shows.
I think it's just
Maybe
Two more
I'm
than
wrong.
we need.
Because there's 2 actors.
He was on the there are 2 actors. It's Grant Gustin is the main one,
Flash.
and then
How do you know this?
well, you know what's weird thing is that Grant Gustin is like a Broadway musical star, and he doesn't sing on the Flash, as far as I know. I've never really watched that
good.
show.
That would probably make it worse.
Oh, the spinoff is Legends of Tomorrow. You're correct with that. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen so many different Flashes. Because this guy's not the one in the movie, right?
Ezra Miller is not the one in the movie, but Ezra Miller is in one of the episodes of the TV show.
So this guy's in the movie?
No.
Oh, so it's a whole new guy.
It's Ezra Miller who was in.
I know Ezra Miller. He's under some heat right now.
It has been for a minute.
Yeah, he was diddling.
What the hell is diddling?
Maybe.
I think he was diddling.
I don't want to know then.
Yeah, I think he was diddling.
Sounds
I'm not
very
the judge
suspicious.
nor the jury, but it sounds like he might have been diddling.
Yeah. Yeah. He.
You don't know what diddling is?
I want to say he, but it's they. He uses they pronouns.
Oh,
they them pronouns.
Yeah, he's diddling.
Nope.
Diddling, like I think sexual assault, and it might even be minors. I don't know. Don't quote me. I'm not TMZ. I'm just, dude. My Twitter is fucking crazy.
I don't have Twitter. I don't use Twitter.
Dude,
I tried.
Talk about underground. I feel like Twitter right now feels like early internet, and I actually love it.
Why? Well, what about
Just
it?
because the craziest shit be popping on my timeline.
It's seriously fucked up, bro.
And the algorithms everywhere. Like it's semi.
Elon is unhinged.
He's a little unhinged, which I kind of enjoy. I'm not an
Yes.
Elon fan by any means. Actually, I'm not a big Elon fan, but
Are you a non-fan? Are you an anti-Elon?
I'm not. I think on the bigger, if we're talking seriously, yeah, probably.
Why?
I think he's like a very good at hiding his narcissism, so people think he's so genuine and intelligent. I do think he's intelligent.
Jeez, I've never met anyone like that in person.
Yeah, I think he wants attention, but he like plays it off that he doesn't. Though is the difference, and so people
also probably says he's not interested in money, which
yeah, and people eat that up. People are eating that up. He acts very altruistic.
Yes, I am eating that up.
Yeah.
I am.
Are you an
people.
Elon fan?
I don't hate him.
Yeah, I think he's.
I could see what you mean though.
Yeah, I think he's put on a very good altruistic face, but he's not that way.
I mean, it's not as bad as The Rock though.
No, dude, I didn't know The Rock is getting tanked right now. People don't like him anymore.
Oh yeah, no, they don't. Yeah,
Why?
He's the Rock as a franchise is in trouble.
He's fallen. I don't know, but I've said this for a decade.
He's gonna sink.
Yeah,
Like
Womp
The Rock?
womp.
Well, he's the same. He plays the same character in everything he's in. Basically, just himself. So that's one thing, and you can get away with that when you're successful with it. But he's had a string of unsuccessful stuff.
I think he chooses bad scripts because even the movies are corny. And then, yeah, I think you can play yourself or play the same guy if you're not putting out a movie every 3 months.
That's true too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if
it's too familiar.
Yeah, if you're like Vin Diesel, obviously he's been in some okay movies
Yeah.
as well. But like Fast and Furious is fine if it's every 3 years. 'Cause then it's like a little like, okay, I'll go watch this and move on. Not saying those are good movies by any means, but you know what I mean. Like you can get by with selling tickets.
Yeah.
The Rock's in every movie always, and they always suck, and he's corny,
It is the same thing.
and he's narcissistic as fuck.
It's like for China, because like China loves them, right, or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and they love the American action movies
Yeah.
and stuff. They eat that stuff up.
It is interesting that other movies are now getting huge play here, which you would assume means that they're getting big play elsewhere. Like obviously the Korean stuff, there's some Brazilian stuff. that America. I mean, we dominated it for 40 years. There's no one making films even close to on our level or TV or anything. But now there's other people because our shit sucks. But back to Elon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Twitter's fun internet. I don't know if it's healthy. I don't know if it's good.
We should bring Twitter stuff onto here because I don't know anything about it.
Twitter's crazy right now.
I don't know.
I'll be getting
what's
the
on
craziest shit.
Is it news or is it just drama?
All of it.
Okay, because
that's why I think I like it. Because like I heard about the submarine stuff before, like it was major CNN news.
Oh yeah, it was on Insta. I just know it from Instagram.
Yeah, I do feel like Twitter is kind of first at it.
Yeah,
I think they're first to report anything.
Yeah, it was kind of originally more of a news site than.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and then it became garbage. I don't know.
I'm really bad at using news apps, but I do wish that I kind of like wanted to use Twitter just because I feel like people get their news. They actually do get their news like politically and stuff as well, which I'm just not well versed in.
It gets real crazy politically, but so for me, I think I can distinguish it very well. But that's why I say I don't know if it's healthy, but for me, it's fine because I know for me, when I go to Twitter, it's pure entertainment.
Right.
Where other people will go to Twitter and like
make decisions based off of
that's
it.
probably where it gets unhealthy. But there's some crazy, like the conspiracies that pop up on my shit, the drama that pops up on my shit, very entertaining.
People take it really seriously and they'll carry about it like it'll affect them for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But for you, you're like, oh, that was funny. This is crazy.
And
all
it
right,
might
moving
affect
on.
their decisions, which I worry about.
Yeah.
Because politically, especially now that everyone's got a check on that bitch, you don't know who's legitimate. Someone with 10K followers could be a legitimate
on Twitter too.
Politician, yeah.
Yeah,
they
Twitter actually started it.
Yeah, they started it.
Yeah, now everybody that has a check is supposedly paying for it, except for the ones that are different
purple,
colors.
Right? Yeah, that makes a lot
Gold.
of sense.
I like the different colored.
Yeah.
If you paid for it,
I think
colored.
Instagram should do that too.
I'm surprised that they don't.
Can I get a gold one, dog?
Who owns Instagram?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Meta.
The Zuck.
Okay, yeah. There was something about the blue checkmark being like a meta thing.
Yeah.
And then I'll click on people's thing because like they'll like or follow or whatever. I'm like, oh, who's this blue checkmark? I'm like, oh, you have 800 followers.
Damn.
Like,
so you don't follow them back? That's fucked.
I don't follow them even if they were a blue checkmark unless I knew them or cared.
I don't follow them either. Fuck them hoes.
Twitter is really great for watching live tweeting. That's really
like the Rogan stuff that was going on. Did you follow some of that?
No.
So last week or the week before, which I do respect Rogan for. I've said this many times. I'm not like the biggest fan of him, but I am a fan of his show because I do think he grabs really interesting guests that a lot of us don't have access to, and he is decent at asking questions. I don't think he's always the most decent at continuing conversations or being as neutral as maybe he should, but again, it's his show, so who gives a fuck? But he does have really interesting guests. So he has Robert Kennedy Jr. on, who's semi-controversial to begin with, but so JFK, right, got bopped in the head. This is his nephew, who's his dad got bopped in the head as well. The whole family ends up getting bopped. That whole family story, there should be more documentaries on that. Like how with the Shrivers and shit, like that family's crazy. This is
What's the Shrivers?
So the Shrivers are like an insanely wealthy, popular political family over time. Maria Shriver ended up marrying Schwarzenegger. I think,
and then divorcing him because he was boinking
the mistress, the cleaner.
The housekeeper.
But
had a kid with
but the Shrivers are related to the Kennedys, and like if you take, obviously there's the Rockefellers and some other stuff, but if you take like power, money, and everything in play, they're probably up there with the most top 5 in history, maybe. Like they're fucking nuts. So yeah, his aunts are Shrivers, his uncle or his dad or whatever Kennedys, but he's running for president. Long story short, he's
gonna get bopped.
Who knows? But he was allowed to obviously speak for a long period of time. Where and Rogan's right, like if you go to debates or Twitter or anything, someone's always cutting you off. So he couldn't get his whole verse out. So I do respect that. But he's not a huge fan of vaccines, and he lays out his data. And then on Twitter, I forgot the guy's name. You might know him.
He's married to
famous actress, yeah.
Yeah, the ex-wife, the on-screen ex-wife in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, I don't think I've seen much of that. Who's this guy?
I watched Curb a little bit at the beginning.
I mean,
I will be totally honest that I was seeing Seinfeld plots every time I watched it, and Seinfeld did it better. And so I was like, fuck, I don't care.
Seinfeld's good, man. I saw some dumb take that Seinfeld's not good.
I should watch it.
The show's good too, but Seinfeld as the human, someone said is not good, and he's only made by David. And I was like, dude, that's
by Larry David.
That's the worst thing ever. That show for sure.
Yeah.
But Seinfeld was a successful comedian and continued to be, and after.
Yeah.
And Larry David isn't writing his stand-up.
And by all reports, an okay human being.
Yeah, it seems so. But who knows?
Maybe a little more complicated than he looks on the surface. Yeah. But like,
people say Larry David's pretty cool. Like, I would rather hang out with that dude than watch the show because he does seem normal. Like, he's driving a Volvo. This dude's worth hundreds of millions. Fuck, I can't find his name. But basically, another government-style doctor vaccine guy who I think is a researcher and whatever, who's also been on Rogan's show, started to chirp a little bit on Twitter, talking shit on
Kennedy?
Yep. And so then Rogan said, hey, man, I would love for you guys to sit down together. And I've seen other ones where
he brings two opposite.
Yep. He's done it in the nutrition world. And Rogan's actually done a decent job of being because it's not an official debate, but he's done a decent job of being neutral and mediating it. He had Lane on with some other people, some people in our world, and they were decent. They're entertaining, very least. I don't think debates solve anything ever, but they can be entertaining and grow thought.
It allows
I think they're only entertaining. Yeah. I don't think that anything else comes from
Some
them.
people do think so.
But as like a listener who doesn't know shit about shit, like if I heard only one side, I'd be like, I'm more inclined to like understand and then agree. But if I hear both sides at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, so which one do I get to make my own decision?
And you leave a little confused because they're both cutting each other off again, whatever.
Right.
But Rogan basically said, hey, I'll give $100,000 to the charity of your choice. Just come on the show with Kennedy. And this guy had previously been on Rogan's show.
$100,000.
Yeah. And then a bunch of other people started throwing down like, hey, this is a great idea. Here's another 100,000. Here's another 100,000. I'll put in a 200,000. All these famous rich people. Elon threw money in, I think, too. And Elon's chirping in there. Everyone's starting to chirp.
Wait for like more for what?
For more enticing to get this guy to come on the show to give money to charity.
Which guy?
This vaccine guy. I can't think of his name.
To have him be on the show more
with Kennedy. Yeah.
Oh. With Kennedy.
If I said the name, you would know him for sure. He's a Fauci-esque type guy. Gray, big old beard. He's been everywhere. I've seen him in the past too. But basically, this guy's like dodging it.
Kennedy?
No, this vaccine guy.
He's dodging what?
Kennedy's down to talk about anything. The debate.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he's desperate for actual, FaceTime with the public. That's why. I mean,
Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying, why is the other guy dodging?
I don't know.
He's been on the show before. He's the one with the background.
Wait, so he hasn't been on the show?
He has, by himself.
So what is he dodging? Like,
I don't know.
He's not answering?
He's answering, but he just keeps saying no. That Kennedy's like fake and this and that and this and that. That's all. But it was talk about live tweeting. They were live, these huge influential folks, right? Fucking Kennedy, Elon, Rogan. I think it was last Friday, and they're all tripping at each other, and I'm following it live, just like eating it up, like real reality TV.
That's I've never used Twitter. I wish I was more savvy with that stuff.
It's fun because then you go down loopholes and you start to see replies, and then you see some other quote unquote famous person chirping, and then it does become kind of fun.
The thing I was actually referring to relative to live tweeting was watching like sports or like, I don't know, award shows, stuff like that.
Yep.
That's, where there's usually a lot of fandom and snark at the same time.
Peter Hotez. Do you know Peter Hotez?
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, it's him.
He looks like if...
He looks like a scientist who'd put in a movie.
Oh my God.
He looks like Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, Peter Hotez is the guy.
He looks like if Bill Nye and Aaron Sorkin had a child together.
Yeah, he's got kind of crazy eyes too.
Yeah.
But he's the one they want to debate with.
I used to be a pretty big fan of Elon when it looked like he had the world solved, and then when I realized that he was just paying other people to solve the world and he was kind of an asshole, then I lost all the sheen for me. That and that Teslas are shitty cars.
Yeah, I think he's an intelligent guy for sure, but like to me it's a lot of times, and I think I do a decent job of this, although obviously this topic may be anti what I'm about to say, but I don't think so. Is like people just don't stay in their lanes enough.
Yeah.
Like they try to expand too much.
Yeah, like he's a coder, right? Like he's good at coding.
Apparently not.
Okay, well either way, that's like what supposedly his bread and butter, right?
Apparently that's not.
But it's not this, and
that's a mythology.
And it's like
built up around
it's like a good thing to like. He just seems like that's why I think the narcissism comes into play. Is like he's just lacking so much self-awareness.
Like he thinks he's capable
of everything.
Now.
You know what I mean? Like, are you an AI guy? Are you a coding guy? Are you a this
cars,
guy?
truck guy?
Yeah, like
UFO rocket guy.
Yeah, now he's a vaccine guy, and I understand that if you're smart, you can understand things a little bit faster than other people, but that doesn't make you now the vaccine expert.
No,
and so like that's where I draw a line with a lot of people. Although he is highly entertaining, and he is kind of a modern day Iron Man type character, where he's got this kind of weird ego about him that is fun to follow, but it's just easy to stay in your lane, and you can talk about anything. But like we've talked about all this stuff a lot on here, and I'm not once saying like yes or no or this or that, because I don't know. I know how to lift weights.
That's why it's called 50% facts.
Yeah, that's it. Cover my ass. But it's just so weird to me that they go
haywire and try to like conquer every like aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When when those kids were trapped in that cave in Thailand, and he came up with a totally impractical cockamamie scheme for getting them out, and wanted to be taken seriously for it. And then one of the rescuers, he called him a pedophile on Twitter,
just because.
Just because there's no support, no evidence, nothing like that.
Yeah, that's like
that's when it broke for me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, this guy's kind of a dirtbag.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, why?
And
if you're like in his position with his money and his power, if he's truly, I don't know the exact example you're talking about, but if he's truly about catching pedophiles, which I think is great, you have the power, money, and resources to go do that. You don't have to tweet about it, and like, you know what I mean. You don't have to point fingers.
Yeah,
like you have the power and resources to make a difference. Pointing a finger on Twitter is not doing that. No. So do you care? That's where he comes off fake altruistic, right? Because you put that on Twitter like, damn, yeah, dude, Elon, I hate pedophiles too. Rather than like, no, this motherfucker's very powerful. If he wants to get rid of pedophiles, he can go actually do that.
If he wanted to solve hunger or poverty, he could do that.
He could do a lot of stuff. Yeah, he has the money. He knows everybody. Everybody loves him. He can get on the phone with Biden. He can get on the phone with fucking Putin. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to answer this motherfucker's call. He could probably get in touch with the FBI. Like, he could do a lot of shit.
That's so cool.
Rather than tweeting.
Yeah.
Like Twitter fingers, man. That's just kind of weird. And he's crazy.
So what's
Twitter.
his end game?
That I don't know.
I don't think there is one.
Well, so according to him, is to save humanity, right? That's why he's having 1,000 kids. That's why he's getting us to the Mars. But like again, like, are you?
He's gonna pull a Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
No, he's fucking. He said that. Because he's looked at all the numbers, and I probably true. Like, population might decline because
if only he were as smart as he thinks he was.
Yeah, he's just fucking. He's just fucking like crazy.
What?
Yeah. But which I don't know if that's the answer, right? Like, I don't know if one dude's gonna repopulate the world. Maybe that's his excuse to just fuck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like if you're gonna cover your ass, that'd be a way to do it.
Yeah.
But and then similarly, Rogan. I was a huge Rogan fan. Huge Rogan fan. Being somebody that curated a podcast that was in part inspired by a number of different things, including Rogan's show, and had a lot of success with it.
We met him.
We did meet him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Avi shook his hand.
Some beefy ass hands.
Avi's famous, dude. You shook Rogan's hand. Do you know how many people? I know you don't care, but how many people are jealous of that?
I shook Rogan's hand.
Yeah, he sat and chatted with us for 5 minutes. Tony Hinchcliffe, you probably
He was cool.
Yeah, he chatted with us for 15, 20 minutes, and then Rogan's right hand man hung out with us for a long time.
Yeah, David Lucas.
Yeah, David Lucas always around.
I met Rogan in 12 or 13, something like that, a long time ago. I've seen him.
A show?
Yeah, it was after a show.
Yeah. That was same for this.
Up in the bar, the VIP bar.
Yeah, what were you saying about the?
Oh no, I think that he got so far out over his skis that it's difficult to take him seriously anymore.
Yeah,
I think back in the day he kind of knew what his place in the universe was, and
which was
he was facilitating stuff without really putting a whole lot of his own bias into what he was facilitating.
Gotcha.
Unless he had a lot of different kinds of shows back then, and I guess he still does now because I don't listen anymore. Sometimes it's just other comedians that he knows, and so if they're just talking and bullshitting or whatever, and that's always been the case, he would throw out all kinds of different ideas, and because he was popular but not so popular, people didn't latch onto that stuff and try to make it true or whatever. And now I think he is in my mind a victim of his own popularity, both from an internal standpoint and from an external standpoint.
I think that's a really good way of putting it, because I don't like blame him. I blame Elon a little bit because he's actually, I think, a narcissist, where Rogan is one of one. Yeah. Like the influence and voice ears he reaches is unheard of.
Yeah.
And I think actually in the scheme, I'm glad it is him, because it could go worse.
I don't think he's a bad person.
That's what
all.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like imagine like a actual fuck in his position.
Oh yeah.
Now we're fucked.
They could fuck shit up for
bad. And I think Rogan has good intentions. I do think he has good intentions. I think he's a kind of a victim of his own popularity in some senses. And then I mean, it's easy to knock down the guy that's at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he does about as good of his job as he could in his spot.
Yeah, and we know people who are friends with Rogan.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
tons.
I've never heard any one of them say anything negative.
No, I've only heard good things. And he was super nice to us.
Which is really,
rare.
It says a lot.
Yeah, it's rare. He is really short, though.
He is quite short.
He's about Abby's height.
He's
same hands too.
He's about 5'6"-ish.
Yeah, probably 5'5". We sat front row. Like, we went up to the bar that was closed afterwards because our buddy David Lucas is one of Rogan's up and coming comedians, and so we were up in the bar, and that's where Rogan and the green room were. But we were also sitting stage side when he performed, and as soon as he came on stage, I don't think I've ever seen him live. I've seen a lot of comedians, but I don't think I've seen him. All I could stare at were his fucking hands.
They're so beefy.
They're fucking
HGH hands.
Yeah, you like open your hands.
Mitts.
Like if you like John Cena's hands.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Cro-Magnon shit going on. Yeah, just fucking beef mitts, and I was just
like
staring at him
hands.
hold the. Yeah, literally. Yeah, it looks like he has gloves on, hand gloves.
Yeah,
and I'm like, holy. Fuck,
yeah, like I reach out
fuck.
to like give him a handshake, and usually you'll squeeze.
Yeah.
When you handshake, and like my hand didn't move because like that was his whole hand.
He has a beefy fuck, man.
But he was nice.
He was very
He like went through like we had a big group with us,
Yeah.
but he like went through like each person and like shook her hand.
Yeah.
And said hi.
Just said we're here for lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of those guys were nice. Comedians are cool people. I do think they're a rare breed. And again, I think in the position he is just would be so difficult because again, like he can get an access with anybody too, and everybody's listening and watching his shit.
That's true, because if you're like such a big influence and you know this many people and you like have this much power, it's so easy to power trip. So if anything, like it's almost like I don't know. I want to give him credit for not turning.
No, I agree.
Even more,
I don't think his ego gets in the way. I think the one thing he does is he might still be like too trustworthy of people he deems as experts. So then he parrots their ideas. Right, that's like the which I don't think is like unheard of. Like that's not evil.
It's hard
no,
not
of
to
course
do that
not.
too.
Yeah, because he talks to him for 3 hours, and a lot of these people are smart. Two very smart people can have differing opinions. Right, and that's not a thing in this world.
Yeah.
Right, and we talked about I think even on the last episode where two people can be doctors, most nutritionists at the highest level, politicians don't agree because there isn't true answers always in the world. Right? Because we don't know. And so he has these people that are incredibly smart from very extreme opinions talking to him for 3 hours. It's understandable that you, for lack of a better term, are convinced.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to someone very smart.
Yeah.
You know? Like whether you like Kennedy or not and you like vaxxers or not, I don't give a fuck. Like Kennedy's, like he's a smart cat. You know, he's a smart cat. And so then you have him and then you have whoever else on that's anti his view. You could be convinced either way, you know, at the flip of a switch.
Cheryl Hines. Finally remembered her name. His wife.
Oh, I don't know if I know that name.
Yeah, you only if you ever watched Curb.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else. She's been in other things, I think.
Yeah.
I've just never seen anything else.
Yeah, his show's just so rare. I mean, he's had Bernie Sanders on. Like, he's had everybody on. Like, that's not a thing. Normally,
I haven't watched.
Yeah. Normally, Bernie Sanders would go on Barbara Walters with premeditated questions that him and his team have gone through, and he sits down and answers those. Where Rogan's just fucking firing. That's what still makes the show, right? Is like, it's just a meathead comedian talking to like the most powerful people in the world without PR blocking their ass because it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
So you're going to get some real shit. You're going to get some flubs.
Hours?
Sometimes. I mean, some are an hour.
It is hard to keep up that kind of facade.
Format?
Yeah,
Oh.
no. If you're the guest, it's hard to keep that facade up for that long.
Yeah.
Some people are just more attuned to it,
and you can
more
tell.
if they're a sociopath, they can fucking do it all day long. But
if you watch a bunch of them, and I have over because I started listening like 2011.
And you still listen?
When I travel or depending on a long bike ride or not, I'll tap in. I don't listen religiously, but I'll listen to podcasts just because I like a 3-hour format when I'm traveling. I'm like, all right, I'll get through one podcast and I'm at my stupid destination.
yeah.
Where was I going?
I don't know. This is excellent radio right here.
Yeah, I lost it.
Sorry.
It's all right. You're fired.
All right, so we'll move on.
That's it.
We want to talk about billionaires and submarines, or did anybody watch IPF Worlds?
I watched a little IPF Worlds.
I watched some recaps. I'm not a real power lifter.
Yeah, you're fake.
People were waking up I'm waking up at 3 a.m. to watch IPF World. I'm like, couldn't be me, bro.
No, I didn't do all that. But we had it on in here for a little bit. We watched Keiko win, which was cool. I was thinking about hitting them up, trying to get up on here on the podcast.
I'm barely learning about these people who are competing.
Keiko. So there's a lot of newbies, and there's a lot of international people are winning now too. Obviously, because the U.S. is a little split in its talent. But Keiko is a guy I've known for a very long time. He's old like me. He's done it for a decade. And to see him take home gold, he's from Fresno, so he's a local boy.
He's in Oklahoma?
What?
Where is he now?
Fresno.
He's in Fresno now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he lives in Fresno. I don't know if I just doxed him. Sorry, buddy.
That's so random.
Everybody's gonna send him raisins.
Fresno's what? Third most populated city in California.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's huge.
There's nothing
It's pretty
out
big.
there.
Yeah,
No, it's huge.
But there's like nothing.
I think it's after LA. I swear. I think maybe San Bernardino or something. But like,
isn't there like nothing out there though?
yeah, I've heard it's. Yeah,
I heard it's so
I've driven
boring.
by it, but I think it has more folks in San Diego even. But crazy strong, known for his bench. I think he benches mid fives, high fives as a 100-kilo cat. Stupid nice. I kind of I've knew of him as a lifter for a while, but I first like more connected with him through video games. He was in my Twitch chat because he's a gamer. But yeah, it would be fun to have him up here for a training session, maybe a podcast. I'll try to hit
he's
him up.
pretty close.
Yeah, he's very close. Yeah, Jessica Buettner, watch her. It was that session.
What did she place?
I think she got third. I think she maybe missed a squat and a pull. I think she pulled for an all-time world record and maybe missed it.
Third's so good.
Yeah, really good. Bronze. Yeah, Aiden obviously was still going in the same
Aiden.
Gavin Aiden.
Okay, you were way off. So
on which one?
Fresno, the size of Fresno.
What size is it?
Fresno is 8th largest city
in California.
In California, yeah.
No shot.
Yeah.
What's one? L.A.
Los Angeles. Number 2 is
San Diego.
Nope.
San Bernardino.
Nope.
Santa Clara.
Nope.
Or Santa Clarita.
No, you guys are right with the first half of what you're saying.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
This is by population?
So yes, the population of Los Angeles 3.9 million, San Francisco 810,000.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Oh, what this is weird because it isn't.
Yeah, because I thought Fresno has 1 million plus.
No, no. According to this, Fresno is 540.
No way. That's what we have.
But San Diego actually is number 2, and I don't know why it's listed. And San Jose is number 3.
Oh, San Jose.
San Francisco is number 4. Sacramento is number 6. Looks like.
That's crazy. I don't know why I thought I had way more.
I don't know. This could be a fucked up list.
Yeah.
Welcome
right
to
now
the
it
internet.
says population at what I just Googled is 550 for Fresno and 525 for Sac. And that's in 2021.
Okay, this is the ranked list.
It might have gone up, though.
Okay, so it's Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose, San Francisco, Fresno, Sacramento, Long Beach, Oakland, Bakersfield, Anaheim, Stockton.
How many people are in Stockton?
321. Riverside, which no reason to anyone to ever go to Riverside. Irvine, Santa Ana, Chula Vista, Fremont, Santa Clarita.
I'm surprised.
I knew Santa Clarita was in there.
San Bernardino, Modesto, Fontana, Moreno Valley, Oxnard, Huntington Beach, Glendale, Ontario, Elk Grove.
Boo. I hate Elk
Grove,
Grove.
dude.
Yes, I hate Elk Grove.
Santa Rosa, Rancho Cucamonga, Oceanside, Garden Grove. Lancaster, Palmdale.
Elk Grove is all full of complacent people.
Celine, Corona, Hayward, and number 36
Come
is
at me, Elk Grovians.
Roseville. Yeah, everyone's going to be so upset. Don't we
I
have
know.
members? We have members from Elk Grove.
Yeah, but I mean, be your own self. If the shoe fits, you can get mad at me. But like, if it doesn't, be like, well, I'm just the exception. Like, not everyone, obviously.
Right. You're only
Elk Grove,
offended if it fits, cuh.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, tell 'em.
Like, don't get offended if
you ain't complacent,
if it's
you ain't
not you,
offended.
then it doesn't apply to you.
Tell them.
Then don't get mad. If you got mad, check yourself.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to hype me up to talk shit?
Get them, dog. You're right.
I hate going back there.
I say that all the time, though. Like, why are you insulted if you shouldn't be defensive if it's not true?
Right.
Or
Like
if it's not about you.
Yeah, like internet comments, the only ones that burn me are the ones that I feel are semi-true, that I'm actually vulnerable
Exactly.
about.
Or if like it affects me, I'm like, oh shit, why do I feel
like
sensitive
steroid
to
allegations, like people get mad about that. I've never once been mad about that because I just know I haven't done
it's
steroids.
like, cool, you think I look or I am strong enough to be on this.
Yeah,
As far as anyone knows.
With
it's
those
a humble,
hands.
yeah. It's a humble, what is it? No, it's a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Some people were mad about it, though.
It was weird. Like,
I screenshotted
why?
one dude went crazy. Let's see if I saved it.
Crazy.
He commented on like
Accusing you?
5 videos. It was wild.
Or defending you.
No, going at me. Really bad. It was so funny.
For being on steroids.
People don't understand what's possible. I think we've talked about that a million times before. People don't understand what's possible if you train long enough and you have the genetics for it. You don't have to have amazing genetics, but you have to have halfway decent genetics.
Well, and people don't know like timelines.
Right.
Right? Because it's the internet. So I could post something yesterday that was 8 years old or whatever. So he said, this guy is 250 pounds, then leaned out after 2 months. This guy's 250 pounds a few months ago, and now he's leaning out. Everyone knows that he has been taking and what he's been doing. Thumbs down, needle, 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 thumbs down, thumbs down. All right, next video.
Do you hope that those people die in their sleep? Because I always think that the stupidest haters, I just wish that they would consider.
Who knows? But the steroid TRT package that Mike was on a year ago was legit. He's on it again after fattening up or bulking, according to Mike, and cycling off. So we'll see what Mike being ripped in 2 months, and he'll say it's because I'm hitting the gym hard. Mike sure is hitting the gym hard. Laugh face, laugh face, laugh face, laugh face, laugh face, needle, 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 needle.
What the heck? Why does this guy keep watching your videos if he hates you?
You should eat as many hamburgers as possible. Steroid up like Mike, and then cycle off just like he did. Mike thinks that no one realizes he's a steroid cheat. Laugh face, laugh face, laugh face. Same guy.
Damn.
I know.
What is wrong with this guy?
I don't know.
See, if I were Elon Musk and someone was talking about me the way they're talking about you there, then I would just find out where this guy lives.
Easily.
I know you meant if you had Elon Musk, if you were in his shoes. But what Elon Musk would do was he would fire back.
Yeah.
That's what makes me think he's a narcissist. You know, like, I can't have anyone talking bad about me out there. I'm going to show him. I'm like, bro, I didn't answer this guy. I just let him be. Like, what am I going to say? Like, no, man, I'm natty.
Yeah.
What are you going to win?
That's true. I don't know what their goal is. And, I mean, I just feel like they're keyboard warriors because they wouldn't really talk like this in person if they actually met you.
I think it's 1, total keyboard warrior, or 2, someone I know that doesn't like me. Those are always my...
Oh, like a fake account?
Yeah. Those are always my toss-ups.
We've had that problem before.
Yeah. That's
and you
my
found
ideas.
out?
No.
Well,
but you can, like...
kind of.
Deduct.
Extrapolate?
Yeah, you could deduct.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's like the pros and cons of like getting bigger or whatever.
Yeah, on the internet?
On the internet.
I know, we're not even that big. Imagine if you're huge.
Yeah, I said something about like telling someone who was asking me a question about how to lift with bipolar depression, which what is that even? Like
yeah, and they were probably even coming at you with a slight joke.
Yeah, and then they said it affects my deadlift the most, and I said just lift without it. And as a joke, and then I was like, "Don't." I'm like, "This is a lesson."
Yeah, leave it at home.
I was like, "Just don't lift with it, then." Like, so clearly a joke. Like I'm not serious.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my God.
Yeah, let this be a lesson.
Oh yeah,
like,
don't be bipolar on
like,
Tuesdays.
don't ask me. Like, please, like that sounds really serious or whatever. Like I just don't know. Like talk to a medical
even
professional.
They won't even know.
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly. So I'm just saying, like, it's out of my lane. Like, ask people who know what they're talking about. And someone was like, wow, you should think about what you put online before you say something. Like, you're limiting this person's ability to ask questions freely. I'm like, bro, they asked me this question freely, and I answered freely. Like, if they don't want my answer, then
don't ask the question.
Don't ask me. But also, like, I don't know this person. I'm not gonna start prescribing. Like, well, you should start with this. Like, I don't deal with it, so how would I know? Like,
no, that's a very extreme case.
And it's like, my advice is to ask someone who knows what they're talking about. Like, don't just ask some willy-nilly internet people. Like, don't go on Reddit because you don't know who's. Like, who are you going to take advice from, you know? Yeah. So, and they got upset and, like, unfollowed me, this girl, because I was limiting their ability to ask questions. And it's like, whatever.
People are soft.
I was like, okay, have a good one.
And they're getting softer.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of it.
They just, especially when it comes to mental health things, are so, like, overprotective of other people who are, I don't know. Like, I understand the empathy and the sensitivity around the topics and stuff, but... also, like, this is the internet. You could find some fuck shit out here. Like, what are you gonna do? Put them in a bubble?
I'm one of the biggest, and I don't want to say first, but for sure in the early wave of like a mental health advocate in the fitness space on the internet. I've talked about it forever. I've dealt with it forever, obviously, and I'm still on the opposite side of all that. Like,
well, opposite side how?
Like, not every motherfucker's got depression. Not every motherfucker. You can be anxious and not have anxiety. You can be sad and not be depressed.
You can be lonely and not. No, you can be alone and not be lonely.
Yeah, like, all that is so true, and like all these people are just whipping it out there because it's trendy and popular and to get empathy and to be special. And I do honestly feel like the snowflake deal is so real that people are so unself-aware and so self-conscious of their identity and lacking thereof that they have to tie it to something. Right. So they tie it to like anxiety, and they tie it to even lifting, or they'll tie it to whatever, rather than like, no, I'm Mike, I enjoy this, that, and the other, I'm a son, I'm a business owner. You know what I mean? Like, you can have you can have identity that's not so tied to those things.
That's like,
and that's maybe because I've been diagnosed. You know, I've been to therapy, I've been to doctors, and so I'm not insulted but people are just saying it. Like, go to a fucking doctor if you think you're fucked up.
Well, I think, too, we've said this before, I know I have, is that kind of the worst takes out there are the takes that people have for other people and not for themselves.
Yeah. Like, when it doesn't, and I don't know her background in it, but also, like, coming at me with this, like, I'm going to unfollow you because you don't think about what you say. It's like, how about you try to, like, understand, like, you followed me for this long, what my perspective is, and then, like, if anything, educate or inform me about, like, you know, the different nuances and how to respond to these kind of questions.
Or why wouldn't her comment on responsibility of what you say online also go to the person that asked the question? So if you are bipolar and you've been diagnosed it, because that's the only way you are bipolar, right? Because without a diagnosis, you're not. Yeah. You're lost. Yeah. And so if that person is diagnosed bipolar, why wouldn't they go to the person that diagnosed them and ask them how they deal with lifting and their diagnoses?
Right. Because
then it's irresponsible to just go online and say that.
Yeah. I like read Kyle the question. He's like, what? Like, why is this person asking you that? And it's like, I don't know.
So if they had structured the question this way, if they had said, I suffer from bipolar depression, I have been diagnosed with whatever, I sometimes struggle with getting to the gym when I'm in a depressive phase. Yeah. Do you have any ideas that might, help me get to the gym during those times?
Yeah.
It's still not a perfect question for you, but it's at least a question with, like, appropriate context.
Yeah. Right. And it does sound more serious that way. This one, not that it wasn't serious, it's not that I didn't take it seriously.
No, but it could have come out as like a joke.
But it was like, how do I live with bipolar depression? Yeah. It affects my deadlift the most. What does that mean?
That's a joke.
Yeah,
it sounds like one. Because people say that all the time, like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, I can't bench press or some shit. You know, like,
so it's probably not even real, and this girl that came at me, and I was like, whatever.
Fuck 'em.
But the whole thing you were talking about, like, completely identifying, like, you now identify with whatever you're diagnosed with and not having, like, your own personality anymore. That's kind of similar to how some clients I work with, they'll come in with, I have a back injury, so everything they do is like, oh, it's because my back. I'm like, me telling you how, because I'll teach them how to do, say, walking lunges, like, oh, make sure this and that. It's like, oh, it's because, like, my scoliosis. And I'm like, sometimes things I'm just telling you is just to, like, help you fix your these common mistakes people make in these, like, performing these exercises. And then they always relate somehow, relate it back to like whatever they're injured.
We are going to self-limit yourself, and something that actually some therapists use as a tool or a method, a lesson, whatever, is to actually take that person and name them and make them separate than you. Yeah. Like, Mikey is the anxious guy. Mike's not. And so you start to identify that as over there, like, separate than you. You know what I mean? Like, Mikey's trying to hang out today. That fool's anxious, you know? And so you separate it from who you actually are, what
now
you do.
I'm going to be schizophrenic. I'm like,
that's not like
I'm scared by that.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, but you know what I mean. Or, you know, like...
I don't know what I'm getting into here.
Yeah, but that is a tool that I've been taught.
Oh, God, stop. Yeah, we need to stop throwing out, like, mental disorders or whatever.
Yeah.
They know I'm not a doctor.
Anyway, I think that most of the legitimate bitching about wokeness is exactly what we're saying here, where with people being offended for other people and not their own experience. And then just like kind of one last thing to classify this, when people are diagnosed as something or they self-diagnose as a particular thing, it's so much of a relief to them because they have an identity to put on.
Or an excuse.
Or like a scapegoat almost.
It is.
Like,
yeah. So, I mean, and I get that. I understand that. And especially if people really feel like they're out in the wilderness, it's good to feel like you have a tribe or whatever. But, like,
but if you actually
choose your tribe carefully.
Well, if you actually have problems, it's like anything else in life. You can bitch about it or you could fix it.
Yeah.
And so in those cases, if you're not feeling well or that you're at your optimal state mentally, go find help. Yeah. And even if you're not, you can probably get better at it. Go find help. Yeah. If you have a back issue, go find help. If you have a business issue, go find help or fix the issue. Yeah. We can talk about.
Don't use it as a crutch.
Well, we can point out problems all day. Anxiety's a problem. Depression's a problem. Being broke's a problem. Being fat's a problem. All these are problems. And
everyone has them.
But identifying a problem doesn't fix a problem.
No.
Identifying an answer and taking action fixes a problem.
And then like you use this problem to answer or as an excuse for all your other problems.
Yeah. It just
and what?
snowballs.
Now we're just full of problems. Like
you are.
Now you're never gonna have solutions.
And
too real.
And like psychologists will tell you that that's all about shame avoidance.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy
to
look in the mirror, see your problems, and fix it, or tell yourself to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, I my head goes dark, man. I'll just tell myself to shut the fuck up. We're going to do something else. Like, it's hard. It's hard to say, Mike, you did this wrong, and you've done this wrong for a long time, or you've looked this way, or you're thinking wrong. Like, that's not easy. Mm-hmm. But if you actually want to change it, change who you are, change how you move, change how you do things, change how you think, it's going to be hard, but you could do it, or you could bitch.
What I do is I allow myself to bitch for an X amount of time, and then I'm like, okay, bitching time is over. Go do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, okay, I'm not going to suppress it and tell myself I can't feel this way. Because I can. It's totally fine. And then, like, after I'm like, okay, well, now I'm done bitching or crying,
now what?
Kicking my feet. Yeah. Now what? Yeah.
I just had 8 bars of chocolate. Now what?
Chocolate actually works. There's, like, scientific evidence about that.
Time to go eat more chocolate. Thanks, Jim.
Yep. You're welcome.
Wrap them up, Abby. Where can they find you?
On Instagram at avi.lu.
Ladies and gentlemen, new episode Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much. 3sb.co. The last launch was an absolute success. Thank you. We're sold out of many, many things, but if you want to tap in, I think we got some shorts available and a couple snapbacks left. Brand new stuff coming on the horizon. Because of your guys' support, we can do some cool shit. So we've been cooking. A very fun summer pack is on the way in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. GoodCompanyDiscord.com. I'm Silent Mike. Where you want to find me?
I'm at Jim McDonald on all the social media. This show is 50% facts, where percent is a word and 50 is just numbers. 50% facts is a Spreaker Prime podcast in association with iHeartMedia on the Obscure Celebrity Network, and we have a heart out, and we'll talk to you next time.
Let's roll today.
Yeah.